Okay guys, so today we're at Austin's house. Got Austin over there. It's pretty hot outside right now. He's putting some fans in the window, I guess. I haven't done an update on his car for a little while. Well, you guys will be very surprised to see it is on wheels now. And I'd have to say it looks pretty mean. I mean, just man. You know, it was great when we got the engine in and everything, and then he just decided to go and get these wheels, but holy crap, it does look really good. And he added some paint into the rear here. So plan for today, I'm going to be doing his fuel system for him, because he is just the worst at trying to put things in holes, I guess. So we'll go through his box of fuel stuff and think about how we're going to run it all. See how everything is going to go. Alright, let's take a gander here. So we got some 6A in. It'll be the return. We'll go right back into the surge tank from the fuel pressure regulator. Let's see here, we got some 6A in line fittings. Here's the main course guy right here, 8A in. Bunch of 8A in fittings. Some stuff to hold the lines up. And the union that will run both pumps into one line. Now, one of the big ordeals here, now if his fuel pressure regulator is still here, I don't know what he did with it. We're gonna have to mount it somewhere. I don't know where he would mount it. I told him to mount it just like right up on the firewall or something. There's some holes here that he can mount it on, but I don't know what he wants to do. It's just got to be able to reach from here, underneath the car, and then right up through the floor, right here, and then it will come right over here. Well, the 8A in will come right over here into this, and then the other one will come right over here into this union. You guys can see. It's basically going to be set up the exact same way that mine was, but it's going to be a little bit different just because he's got submerged Bosch pumps versus my external pumps, which this is a lot cleaner look, I guess. And, you know, this is all my stuff. That's mine. Well, that's not mine, but that's the same one I run. Those are mine. A lot of things are mine, but we're going to get his car going. Better to be put in use than to just sit on the shelf. I'm gonna go get some electrical tape and I'm gonna start throwing some fittings on. We'll go from there. So got one fitting on here. This is gonna be the main one. It's gonna run all the way to the front of the rail, and then the other one we'll have to cut to length, which luckily I found out that these guys right here cut line so good that you don't have to use anything else. Alright, so Austin doesn't have all the elbows that we need for this, so I'm going to put 2 straights off that. The line's going to go a little higher than normal, but it'll still bend fine, and he's going to get a couple elbows later on and then put the elbows on after the fact. So we're going to do 2 straights that go up, and they're going to have 2 straights on that go to a Y fitting, and then there's going to be a straight on it that goes to another straight. So it's going to be a pretty odd duct there. I would suggest he gets like probably 4 or 5 more elbows, but you can get a pack of 4. Do an elbow off that, connect it to the floor, so the elbow will be through the floor, and then the line can run across the bottom of the car to the engine bay. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to cut off a couple chunks of 8A in, and actually I think it'd probably be best if we turn the surge like this. No, I think it'd be better like this. See that, Austin? We're going to turn the surge tank to where the pumps are higher than the fittings. The fittings will be towards the inside of the trunk. So that way it's easier to mess with. Okay. So we're going to have it setting like this. And of course, we're going to have some straights. I think probably get this guy pretty far over here away so we have some wiggle room for the lines, and then an elbow right off the end there. We'll have you step up bit, cut a hole in the floor for the line to be able to run through. But my vision is coming together pretty quick. almost the same as my car, but you know, there's some differences. This is on the different side. So there we go, got 2 lines made to the union. Then we're gonna do one more straight, and the straight will reach the fuel filter there. And then there will be an elbow that goes to the floor, and then the line will go straight to the engine bay, and that'll be it. Alright, so we got all done up now. Something Austin could probably do is, well, he's going to have to get 90s for the fittings that go into the top of the surge, of course, and it will make it a lot better. So as you guys can see just by looking at it, you can understand what I was talking about. It's got to be sitting back a little bit further because of the lines for the trunk there. I'm guessing those are the springs. You know, I don't think they're the same in my car. They might be. I haven't really paid attention. The lines sit a little bit higher. There's plenty of room, but if there was 90s in there, it would be a lot better. So right here we got those coming off there, and then right here we're gonna have a 90-degree coming right off that, going right through the floor. Alright, so after a little bit of thinking, I finally decided to drill some holes. Now, these holes are gonna be a little bit odd, but as you can see, when this is sitting here, the fitting will be exactly in the hole, and the same with the AN6 fitting that I have here, which will be the return. There we go, Austin. Got your line running right through there, boy. Alright, so here we go. So that line will be perfect. I'm going to take this elbow off here, and then this one will sit dag snap right there onto the fuel filter, and then we're going to run the second one right through there as well. This 6AN line here isn't really too harsh. There's not much that needs to be cut off of it besides what he's got to use on his actual top hat for his fuel. So there we go. We got the return in. It's gonna have to be, you know, set down good, and it'll look fine once it all ran fine. So then it's all pulled up to the front of the car. We got both lines here, as you can see, right in there. I don't think you can see, but it's right up on the frame rail. Yeah, there you go. You can see all the way to the front. So this one right here, wherever he decides to run the fuel pressure regulator, it'll be cut off and it'll run to the bottom. And then this one here will run to the front, and then there will be some in for the back of the fuel rail, and it'll run to the side or the other side, whichever way he wants to put it. More than likely this side here, depending on which way it is from the end of the rail. And then 6AN on the bottom. There'll have to be a plug here, but that's fine. I have plenty of fittings from pressure regulators at home that we can use. I think pretty much the rest of this, Austin's going to have to cover on. Some of these things, well, I suppose that's not so bad, actually. So we're going to have a 90 here. And that's a return that he put in, bulkhead fitting, which I told him to use silicone. Hopefully it seals. If it doesn't, you know, these cars are just known for it. And he's obviously... his O-ring, I can't believe he actually still has a good one, but these cars are just absolutely known for leaking fuel out of this because the fuel tanks have a lot of pressure, which is so weird. My hatch did it too back in the day. Okay, so what do we got here? Let's see if I can See if I can bust this guy open here real quick. The end of this fitting does not want to turn. Alright, you know what, fitting? I don't even want to mess with you, man. You're not even a good fitting. Okay, there's another one out. Oh, there's another elbow in here. Where you at? There's no way he only has one AN6 elbow. There's just no way. There's no way. 6 AN straight. You only have 2? Why is there an O-ring in there? These better not be O-ring fittings. So, ho, that will not be good. This one does good. This one turns. We'll have this fitting here for the return out of the surge tank. So it'll go to one of those other fittings right there. That's not gonna work.
Why?
Because it's not tight enough. Alright, so with these lines up here, there's not really much else that we can do. He's still got to get some fittings for the rail. They got to be 8 AN. These are still 6 AN. And he's going to find a place to mount this. Once everything's mounted, then I can figure out how we're going to, or the length of the lines. And then with these guys right here, we're going to jack up the car, mount everything. And he's going to figure out what he wants to do with these. I don't know how he wants to mount them down, but we're going to bolt them down somehow. And then...
we need to wire them.
Well, yeah, you can wire them afterwards. But then here, he's gonna pull this fitting, he thinks, and we're gonna do something with this. Probably not even gonna keep this really. No, probably gonna do 2 fittings, and then run 2 or they're gonna be bulkhead fittings. So if you look at the bottom of this one, you can see that this fitting has a nipple on it, so you can run a hose. So essentially, just like that there, 2 right here on the top. And they'll have fittings on the bottom. So one can just be a return. It'll sit just like that. It'll just spray all over inside the tank. It doesn't matter. And then the other one will be connected to the fuel pump, which will fill up this. And once it fills up, one of them, that's the return, is going to be returning back to the... it'll be returning back to the tank. And this will always be constantly full while these are running, because this won't have to be worried about pressure. It'll just be it'll have to worry about flow. And this will always be full, so whenever you're drag racing or doing any kind of acceleration, you won't have to worry about fuel slosh like you would with the stock pump. So this will always be full and always pumping and always circulating. Not to mention, for anyone wanting to know why these 2 pumps are, they're absolutely a lot more flow. They flow a lot more than the stock pump would or a 255. And the reason that it still works is because all the excess fuel that goes up to the rail still comes back, and it will be put back into the tank as well. So this will just always be filled up, no matter what. Basic 255 will do the job. I got a 450 in my tank, but it was already in there, and I had ran out of... got his lines ran to the front now, and he's got to get a couple bulkhead fittings for this. He's going to reuse the one, I guess, and then plug up the stock ones. Oh, you do have another one. Oh, so then I guess when you're bored, just drill holes and put them where you want, and we'll get it all set up. That's going to be it for this one. Thanks for viewing. Hopefully you guys learned something, you know. Like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.